Well, hey folks, it's Dave back here in Studio B, and I got more Bankshot Basketball for you here today. But what I'm going to do this time here is I pick up my game in the fourth quarter, and it appears it's going to be a Philadelphia sweep in the 82-83 finals, as it was in real life. But I've had a lot of fun with this particular series, and it helped me really learn the game. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to play this fourth quarter even slower than I normally do, and we're going to talk about the game a little bit. And I'm going to show you how I play it, and whether it's correct or not, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I got a lot of the game down pretty well, but I'm going to slow it down and just kind of show you everything that I do, and hopefully that'll help some of you. Okay, hopefully I look good and sound good. I haven't checked it yet on the feed, but Philip's here, and hopefully if he will tell me if I'm not looking and sounding good. All right, so the first thing is I'm using the 5-player method, okay, rather than the 10. And I think when I went in and I started to do the 10-player method, everybody on the court at the same time, 10 on 10, that was messing me up. It really was. And it was a neat idea, but when I went to the 5 on 5, it feels more like basketball because now I know who's on the court, and I don't have to worry about looking at the reserves because the reserves are in. Someone gets in foul trouble, I can yank them out, see you later. And it really does feel like I'm coaching basketball. So I prefer this method here. So anybody that's trying the 10-player method, 10 on 10, give this a try, and you might find that it's a little bit easier. I felt it was. Either that or I'm just getting better at the game, if you will. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my fast action cards, and I do it by the quarter. Now, a segment is 6 minutes. I set up the whole quarter, so I have a huge stack of cards here, and so I don't have to worry about, restacking them or shuffling them again. So that's what I do. Okay, so I have all these little stacks of cards like this all around the place here because you get a lot of fast action cards. Okay, so I have some here, and I got some here, and some over here, some over here. And here's the stack that I just used in the last quarter. So I'll shuffle these up, and I'll sprinkle them in as well. But you get a ton of fast action cards, and they're really... Oh, by the way, I cornered them all. I did. I'm crazy, but I did corner them all. So I have all these fast action cards here, and I'm going to shuffle these up here. And, I actually been following a little bit of that. I don't know who's winning, but I know it's been a fun series. I've actually watched a little bit of basketball. I haven't watched basketball in like 30 years. All right, so here's how I set it up. So I have these cards printed from 0 to 11, and that's basically going to be the countdown. I do 7 minutes a minute, 7 cards a minute. That's what they said to do. So we're going to take this out here, and I get all these stacks of black fast action cards, and I'm just going to put them here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's the first minute. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my minute card down. And I created these. So all I did is take the blank cards that came with the set and just print on a sticker the time and put it on here. So that's what I use. So let me do 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll just draw from the same deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I'll take from this deck over here. And again, I'm just kind of barnyard shuffle, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then put the 4. And now I'll take from the stack I just used, and I'll use some of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now with the 5, here's the difference here. So this will be actually... when I put these cards on here, this will be the start of the second segment. So I have to factor in the pace because this is the second segment. So I'm putting 2 segments together. So the pace is 4 and the pace is 3. So I have 7 extra cards to put on here, right? So I'm going to put 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's for my minute. And then I need 7 more for the pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now we're going to start what would be the first segment. So again, there's my 6, so I go back to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I add another minute, go to a different stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I get my 8-minute mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that is good with that. 9-minute mark. I'll grab some of the ones I used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost done. And then I'll take this stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this is how I do it, and hopefully I'm doing it correct. So now the top stack, we got to add 7 plus the pace again. We got to do that twice because I'm doing the whole quarter, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 7 more for the pace. Because remember, we got to factor in the pace once per segment. This is 2 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so my fast action cards are set up. That's how Dave does it, if you will. Zeldarin comes by, tried looking this up. It's out of stock. It should be back in stock. He took down the print versions for a bit, but he put it up for a few days. So if you head over there now, so was it sidelinestrategy.com or sidelinestrategies.com? Just search Sideline Strategy Bankshot Basketball. And I believe that he has the print copies back in stock. They were out of stock, but I think they're back in stock now. And so get right on it if you can, because he's going to take it out of the stock as he gets closer to heading out to Colorado for the play.com. So I think it's back in stock because I ordered some physical seasons the other night, and so did Vinny. So I think it's back in stock. So double check that. Refresh your page. The print might be back in stock. Hopefully it will be. Okay, so I got my fast action cards, and I have them off to the side over here. I can't really see them over here, but they're over there. Okay, so that's where my fast action cards will be, okay? So now what I want to do is get my players out here. And so I just kind of keep in mind the minutes played and the fouls that they got. And you can see over here that Cheeks has got 2 fouls, Malone's got 3. So I had him sitting a lot in that third quarter. So now we're going to be starting the fourth quarter, and he's back in. So I put all my substitutes in. Again, I did a little tutorial on the scoreboard here that I'm using, which is iScore Basketball. So I've done a video on that if you want to check that out. And so I got all my guys in. I prefer this method, and I don't know anything about basketball, but you know they give you these here, and they give you the position. So it's been easy, it's been fun, and I just kind of go with it. Again, I'm not taking this wicked serious, so I'm having some fun with this. All right, so I'm going to walk through some of the things that happen here on the cards and the dice rolls and the fast action cards, and try to play kind of slow and show you how I play it. And again, I could be very wrong, but I think I got it pretty darn close. And even on some of the things that I'm not 100% sure of, I've just been kind of winging it. And even, Joe responded, because you're not going to break the game if you do something, whatever. So anyway, so I'm looking at my points here, and you can see that Moses 21, Dr. J 21, and Andrew Toney 21. So they're really leading the charge over here. Kareem with 21, Magic Johnson with 8. Magic Johnson has been awful in this game, okay? And you can check the stats if you want down the bottom here on the iPad, but I won't do that right now, but he's been awful. Okay, so I'm going to start the fourth quarter. So I'm going to hit start period 4, and then I'll start counting down. And I'm going to hold it up here because I have 14 action cards instead of 7 to flip for this first part of the first minute, I should say. That's how it works out. So I'm going to hold that clock at 11:56. It is Philadelphia ball. I use these pegs here. Okay, I use these pegs, and they really help me to keep track of who's going up against who, is what I like to do. All right, so let me get my ball roller over here. Let me get my iPad over here so I can move everything. And let me kind of zoom in now and see if we can get everybody here on the court. So we're going to come over here like this. And, all right, so we have the card. You don't really need to see these, but I like to have them in there. They got the team colors on there. Okay, so we know who has the ball because we already did the flip. Let me come in a little bit tighter there, just so you can maybe see the action cards a little bit better. All righty. So I have my 5 guys on the court. We've started the fourth period. It is 87-78, so it's a 9-point lead, and it's been tough. Now, if I go to, I'll show you what happened here. So you can see the quarter, but quarter by quarter, you actually have to exit to go and check this out. So you can see it was 35-26 Philadelphia. They continued to lead in the second, but Philadelphia had a bad third quarter. They only get 19 points. That allowed LA to get back in the game, but they're still down by 9, and Philadelphia will start with the ball. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip a fast action card, and that's going to tell us who we're looking at here. Okay, so what this says, now I'm not playing the 10-player board, so anytime you see a C2 or a G3 or something like that, that's what you would go here. But I'm going to just play the 5-on-5, so I only look at the top, except if there's any kind of verbiage here that tells a special circumstance. So the center gets it. So Malone gets it. So I put my green on Malone and the defender. So it's going to be the other center. So it's going to be Abdul-Jabbar. Now, because this is in red, okay, we're going to look at the defender. So we're going to read down here on the red part of the defense when we roll our dice. Okay, so that's our first thing. So we mark our offense and our defense. And I think there's little markers that come with the game, but I do these because they're just easy to pick up. And I have them color coordinated, red for the defense and green for the offense is what I do. All right, so now let's see if we can roll your ball. Let's roll the dice now. How my dice is set up, if you can see them here, I have the top two of my percentile dice. My bottom two are my 2d6. Then below that, I have another percentile dice. Below that, the blue is a single 2d6, and if I need another 2d6 for, let's say, a quick layup or something like that, I will use the yellow and the blue for that. So that's what I have here for that, okay? So just so you know what I'm looking at. So I'm really going to look at the top, and as I need to, I will go down to the bottom, and I'll indicate what I'm looking at. So let's roll the dice here. So I'm looking at a percentage die, and I'm going to go here, again, because we had the red for the defense and Kareem's on defense. So let's roll here. So I have a 92. So a 92 is right here. And a 79 to 99 is a block. Okay? So Moses takes the shot. I'm going to come over here to my iPad. He's going to miss the shot because Kareem blocked it. Okay? So Kareem blocks the shot. So now we need to check for the rebound. So we flip another card, and we're going to look right here on the rebound. And it says high at F2. So Dr. J on offense is a 26. Jamal Wilkes on defense is a 14. So the high at F2 will be Dr. J. So Dr. J, I will click on him and give him an offensive rebound, and the ball stays with Philadelphia. So Moses puts it up. It's no good, and it's going to be taken by Dr. J. So now we go back, we flip another action card, and we see what two players are going to go at it now. So now we have G1, so Maurice Cheeks is the offense. His defender is Magic Johnson. And we have a question mark here. And these are kind of the wild cards in the game. So what we're going to need to do is we will flip a fast break card and look at the for Maurice Cheeks, because he's got the question mark. We will find out what's going on with that rare play, if you will. Okay, so now it's going to be read off the offense because it's in green. So Maurice Cheeks, we're going to read off of his card. So let's roll and get our percentage. It's a 17. A 17 is a miss. Now I'm going to look at the six-sided die. Now you see I rolled a 3. The 1 and the 2 is a 3. If I had rolled a 2, it might be a 3-point miss, and I still would have to check the other dice roll, the percentage roll, which is a 49 right now. So this being said, it does not pass the check for the 2d6, and it does not pass the check. It won't need to pass a check because it's already done. So it's for a 3-point shot, you look at the 2d6, and once in a while you'll need a percentage die too. So Maurice Cheeks puts up, which is going to be a 2-point shot, and he will miss. So Maurice Cheeks puts it up. I will put the miss on him, and now we check the rebound. And again, I'm going to keep this in mind that I have to check that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this card kind of at an angle or below that to remind me to check this. So on the rebound, it's defense F2 and then a fast break. So defense F2 is Jamal Wilkes. Jamal Wilkes will come down with the defensive rebound. And now we flip a blue card here. That's our fast break, and we'll use that for the question mark too. So on the fast break, a foul on the offensive center. So Kareem is going to pick up a foul. So we're going to go to Kareem, and he's going to get a foul, offensive foul. And so the ball will go back to Philadelphia. Now, we got to still resolve this because it says resolve the play, and then at the next stoppage, I believe it is, we're going to check this. So Maurice Cheeks is the guy here that we're checking, okay? So we're going to flip this, and let's see what it says. So it says the question mark reading is no event, continue the game as normal. So that's easy enough. I don't have to do anything. Once in a while, it'll come up with some different things, and I'll go through those later on as they come up, or we can talk about them later. But sometimes you jump on them right away, and other times you bank them, so to speak. So you'll take this blue card here, whatever it says, and you'll put it off to the side because you'll either need it for the next couple of possessions or for the rest of the segment or something like that. Okay, so we have a foul by Kareem, so the ball's going to stay with Philadelphia. We resolve this. It was nothing. And now we continue on. So now Kareem has 3 fouls. So we got to keep an eye on him as we go through the rest of the quarter. So we're back to the fast action card. So now it says B2. So I look, do I have a B2? I have a D, a blank, a B3, E, and a blank. So I don't have a B2. So I will default over here to F1. So Mark Ivaroni, that's how you say his name, will get the ball. And he will be guarded by defense F1. And because it's green, we're going to read off the Ivaroni card. So we're going to roll to get our percentage. 07. Ooh, just missed an assist. So he is fouled while shooting by Rambus. So now what happens on a foul while shooting, you need another percentage die to see if you put in the shot. So you see that 60, okay? So that 60 there is where I'm going to see if the shot went in. So I come over here to 60, and no, it's a 2-point miss, okay? So on that there, it's a 2-point miss. If my 2D6 was a 3, then he was attempting from three-point land. So see how this says miss a 3-point is a 2-17? I think they changed that to come over here to change that to a 3. I think that's what they said in the rule book. So, but he doesn't have any way of making a 3-point shot on a foul anyway. So you come over here, and 60 is a 2-point miss. So he misses from 2 points away from whatever. So there's no way that he can miss a 3-pointer. Oh, wait, no, there is. He can miss a 3-pointer with a 33. I just noticed that. But I think you need to roll a 3. And for some reason, they changed that here, but it's in the rule book. So I rolled a 2. On a normal miss, you would keep this 2 and then check the percentage die. So looking at this roll here, if you can follow all this, hopefully I'm not screwing you up. On a normal miss, I did roll a 2. So then we come over here to the percentage in a 60, so it would not be a 3-point shot. It would be a 2-point shot. But because we're fouled while shooting, we're going to come over here, and the 60 percentage die means he missed a 2-point shot. Okay, I probably made that way more complicated than it was. But if it was, again, normal miss, you check to see if it's a 3. If it's a foul while shooting, then you come down here. And it's got to be a 3. It has to be a 3 on the 2D6 to be considered a miss from 3-point range. All right, so we got a foul on Rambus. All right, and it's going to be a defensive foul, so that's going to give him 3 fouls. And Ivaroni is going to take the free throws. Free throws over here on the left. It lines up very nicely with the offense percentage die. So let's roll. An 81. We come down here, and 81, 73 to 92 is a miss. So he's going to miss the first one. So Ivaroni is going to get 2 shots, and the first one he misses. And now I roll for the second one. And an 89, he missed that one too. He missed them both. So Ivaroni puts them up, misses them both, and now we have a rebound off of a free throw. So the rebound is high at F1. Now, once in a while, it'll say FT. That means a free throw miss, and so you check that rebound off a missed free throw. High at F1. So his offense is 27, and Rambus is 33, so Rambus will come down with the defensive rebound. So Rambus will pick it up, and that's a couple of big free throw misses there for Philadelphia. All right, I'm going to let some time run down here as I flip over the cards. All right, so we're back to L.A. ball. Okay, so it's going to go to the center and against the defense. Okay. Now, see where it says here, D or E passes to B1 or B3. So if the center was D or E, he would pass. Well, he's not. He's a B3. However, if Clemon Johnson was in the game as a center, he is an E. So he would pass to a B player. Now, I did find out, after asking a lot of questions, if you don't have a B1 or B3 out here, you still make the pass, but you go to the highest rated player, which would be 26 for Malone, 25.8 for Tony, 25.5. So those are your ratings there. So if by chance Clemon was in the game and he had to pass, and anytime you see this, D or E does have to pass. So it either goes to B or B1 or B3, your ball handlers, or to the highest. So one way or another, Clemon Johnson, it would come out of his hands. But since Moses is the center, he's not D or E, he'll hang on to the ball. So just these things here can be a little confusing. Again, like if the ball was with Cheeks, he's a D, he's got to pass it. Ivaroni's an E, he's got to pass it. And if you don't have a B1 or B3, then you go to the highest. That's what I was told to do. So that's what I do. But anyway, we have Moses with the ball, right? Because, Rambus gets the rebound. So it's going to be Jabbar. I screwed that up. So Jabbar has it. He's a B3, so that ain't going to change. He's not a D or an E. So Rambus with it, over to Jabbar. And now we're looking on the Malone card because it's defender. Okay? So we're going to go to the defense. A 92 on defense is missed. So now you come up here to missed on Jabbar. He does not have a three-point range, so you're even going to worry about it. So that's just a 2-point miss. So Jabbar misses the 2. We check the rebound. And the rebound is defense F2. Julius Irving gets it. And it's a fast break. Go to our fast break card. That's a 2-point basket for G2. So Andrew Toney will get the basket. He will score 2. And it's now an 11-point game. And for the assist, it says whatever card's on the table here to use that, or you could flip another card. I'll just use this one here. So G1. So Maurice Cheeks will get the assist if you're keeping track of assists. Okay, so now it's back to LA ball. A little bit more time run off. So we have F2. I always like to start putting it here at the top against Irving. Now, E will pass it to B1 or F1. Well, he's not an E. Okay, he's not anything over here, so Jamal Wilkes will hang on to it. He'll go against Irving because he's the defender, and we look on the green part over here. So let's click on the percentage die, a 92, and it says 90 to 99 is a turnover. An offensive foul on an 8. So I look at my 2D6, it's a 7. So it's not an offensive foul, but I come back over here to Julius Irving. I look at his turnover, and it's a steal on 2 to 7. So you start here, it's an offense turnover. If it's not an offensive foul, check to see if they stole it on the defensive card. And I did steal it. So we're going to give Jamal Wilkes a turnover and Julius Irving with a steal. And now the ball is back to Philadelphia. And that's one thing I didn't pick up on my first few games is to go and check to see if it's a steal and a turnover. And you will do the same on a basket. You will go to see, if you get a basket on the defensive part, you go to the offense to see if it was a three-pointer or not. And I'll explain that when we get that. So it's going to be the high. Malone is the high, going up against defense C. So that'll be Kareem. So Moses and Kareem go at it again. They've been going at it all day, and it's been a lot of fun. So let's roll off the defense in an 83, and that's going to be another block. So Moses puts it up, and Kareem will block this one. Now we flip for the rebound, and it says defense G2. Sometimes it's nice and simple, and Michael Cooper gets it. Now keep in mind, on a rebound off a block, if the same player comes up on the rebound that blocked it, it goes out of bounds and goes back to the offense. That was in the rule book there. So if this rebound would go to defensive center or he won a battle for the ball, then it would go out of bounds and go back to Philadelphia. So blocking is great, but if you get your own rebound, it's actually considered out of bounds. Okay, so G2, so it's going to be LA ball, and we're going to go to Rambus against the defender. However, D or E passes to B1 or B2. He's an E. Rambus is an E, so he's going to pass it. I don't have a B1 or 2. I only have a B3. So what I do in that instance is I will give it to the highest rated. And the highest rated is Kareem. So Kareem's going to take it from Rambus. Now the defender becomes Malone because this is the guy with the ball. Okay? If this had said defensive center, then it stays defensive center. But when it just says defender, it's always across from the guy who has the ball. And that's great for guys like me who know nothing about basketball. So Kareem has the ball now. Let's get our percentage. And we're reading off of the Malone card, which is a 3. And that's a block. So now Malone returns the favor. So Kareem puts it up. That's no good. And Moses will get the block. Now keep in mind, if he gets the rebound, it goes out of bounds. Offense G2. Nice and easy. Michael Cooper will get the offensive rebound. And LA will keep the ball. And they need it because they're down by 11. And this is a do-or-die game for LA. All right, so let me roll this here. And so now we have the high. We've already determined the high is Kareem. He's got 27. He's the highest out of everyone. And defense is Andrew Toney, G2. And we're reading off the green. So let's roll the green. A 40. And now 28 to 54. That's a basket. There's no three-point range on his thing, so it's a 2-point basket. And if we roll 28 to 42, we're going to get an assist using the same roll. So we rolled a 40, so a 40 is a basket and an assist. So what we do now is we flip another card, a timing card, for the assist. Now you can see I've already passed the 1 minute mark, so that'll be off to the side. I will flip another card, so let me give Kareem +2. Now it's a 9-point game. And on the assist, you go to assisted by G1 or F2. So G1 is first, so Magic will get the assist. So Magic Johnson will get the assist. And now it's a 9-point game. Ball goes back to Philadelphia. So we have a C, so it's going to be Malone. And this time he's going up against Rambis. And again, I'm ignoring this because I'm not using the 10-player board. I'm using the 5, so I don't have to worry about any reserves in this game here. That's what I think makes it so much easier playing 5-on-5. You can just ignore all the reserve stuff. So we're going to read off the Moses card because he's the center in green. So we're going to read over here. And we have a 37. And a 37 is missed. And again, there's no 3-point miss here, so it's automatically going to be 2. Okay, so Moses is going to put it up, and the 37 is a miss. So Moses puts it up, he will miss. We check the rebound. It's going to say high at G1 and G2, and we're going to add a D6 to it. My D6, to see the blue, it's a 6. So I've rolled it. So we're going to add 6 to the home G1 and G2. So we got 32 and 28. So I'll take the highest. That's 32 plus the 6 is 38. And over here, we have 6 and 8. So Magic Johnson will come down with the defensive rebound, and it's going to be L.A. ball. F2, so it's Jamal Wilkes going up against the defender, Julius Erving. D or E will make a pass. Well, he's not D or E. He's a kind of a blank, so he's going to hang on to the ball. So Jamal Wilkes, and we're going to read off of the Julius Erving card, and a 59, and that's going to be a turnover. And a 6 on my 2D6 falls between 2 and 7, so that's a steal. So Jamal Wilkes with a turnover as Julius Erving makes the steal. And now it's going to be Philadelphia ball. So Philadelphia, it's going to be Moses, a D or E pass. You're going to see this a lot, D or E passing to B1 or B2, or the highest. It should say the highest, too, if you don't have B1 or B2. And the idea is you want to get the ball into the hands of the scorers is kind of what it was designed to do. But again, he's a B3. He's not D or E, so Moses will hang on to it. And he's going up against Kareem, and now we have a little notation here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And so let's, we're going to roll the ball here. So let's see, off the Malone card of 50, and that's going to be a miss. So Malone puts it up. That's a miss. Let's check the rebound. Again, I'm going to put it below this so I can remind myself to check that wild card. And defense G2, so Michael Cooper comes down with a rebound. So it's back to L.A. ball. Now we check the plus and see what it says. The player may disregard stamina restrictions for the rest of the game. So Kareem can now technically play the rest of the game, and I don't have to worry about resting him. And I had that same thing with, I think it was Wilkes and also Clement Johnson got this card too. So I got now 3 guys. So I'm just going to make a note here that Kareem has no stamina issues. So I have 3 guys now that can actually play the rest of the game, and I don't have to worry about their stamina. And so those little wild cards are kind of neat when they come in like that. So I had to make a little note for that for myself to remind me. So Kareem can now play the rest of the game, and I don't got to worry about checking his minutes. So that's unless I want to, or if he gets in foul trouble. All right, so Michael Cooper comes down with a rebound. We got good news about Kareem. He's feeling pretty good and fresh, so he's going to finish the rest of the game. And now we'll continue on over here. So we have a center, so Kareem gets it. A D or E passes. Again, he's not a D or an E, so he's going to hang on to the ball. And it's him and Moses one more time. Off the defensive card, and an 11 is going to be a block. So Moses blocks it. So Kareem puts it up, and they've been blocking each other's shots all day long. It's been kind of fun. So Moses with a block. Now I've hit my 10-minute mark, so another minute is gone. You can see my clock. I try to keep my clock close. Again, the clock's not exact. It's just supposed to try to keep close because the fast action cards is what keeps the time. So I'll just let that tick down under 10 because we're under 10, and then I'll stop it at some point. And so it was, we got to check the rebound now, and the rebound is defensive F1 So Kurt Rambis comes down with it, and we have a fast break. I love the fast break. Incidentally, the fast breaks have been killing L.A. because they were taking shots, and Philly would get the rebound at the fast break, and they were scoring on every fast break, and they did so many plays like that. So we flip a blue card for fast break. A fast break E is held up. Well, they're a fast break B. Okay, well, on the card here, they're a fast break B, so we're not going to worry about it. And the defense on a fast break is 0, so there's no change. So it's going to be a B. And it's going to be a 2-point basket by G2. So Rambis is going to send it up. Michael Cooper puts up the 2-point basket. And we don't check for 3 because it did say it's a 2-point basket on the fast break. So he'll put it up, 2, and now it's a 7-point game. And the assists will go to F1. So the assists will go to Rambis. Again, use the previously played card for the assist or flip a new one. So Rambis gets the assist. And it's a 7-point game. So Philadelphia ball. B1 or G2. I don't have a B1, so it's going to be G2. So it's going to be Tony, and the defender is Cooper. So we're going to read off the Tony card here. And I have a 92, and he is fouls while shooting. So again, now what we do is I go to the middle row. My next percentage is 46. So on a 46, it's a 2-point miss. Okay, and again, for it to be a 3-point or a 3-point miss, I would have to roll a 3 on the 2d6. And I did not, and in any case, I rolled a 46. So it's really rare to get a 3-point foul. You really got to hit that right on with so many different dice rolls. Again, it would have to be a 3, and then it would have to be over here a 3-point miss. Then you'll get 3 shots. So on this one here, on the 92, that's a foul while shooting. So Michael Cooper will get a foul here, and that's going to be his 4th. So I got to keep an eye on that. I might even want to take him out. So Tony's going to shoot 2. Oh. Andrew Tony's going to shoot 2. And do I want to take Michael Cooper out? See, the thing is, I don't have any guards here. And Michael Cooper's got 4 fouls. I'll leave him in. See, I don't have any guards here, but I suppose any of these guys could play guards because I guess they're interchangeable. I went with the as played, and each team only had 3 spares in this game. And so that's why I only have those 3 extra guys. All right, so Tony's going to take the free throws. I'm going to look over here. Where's my so a 2 is good. And a 43 is also good. So Andrew Tony's going to hit them both. And now it's back to a 9-point lead for Philadelphia. Okay. And then I just kind of clear these out of the way, if you will. All right. So it's going to be LA ball. Now it's the choice. Magic has been awful. I try to look for the guys that have the biggest range here, but they're kind of different. You know, because you got 36 to 53 is good, 72 to 92, 28 to 54, 79 to 99, 19 to 45. I think I might go to Jamal Wilkes. I think he's got the biggest area here, I think. So I'm going to go to Jamal Wilkes, and he's just guarded by Irving. And we're going to read off the Jamal Wilkes card here because it's green. And again, it's a crapshoot, but sometimes you get it right and you feel pretty good. So if I can get something low, 19 to 45, he's going to put that in. Jamal Wilkes with a 76. No, he's going to miss. I checked for the 3. I need to roll a 12, and I rolled a 9, so I don't have to worry about this extra percentage here. So I did not meet the 12, so it's going to be a 2-point miss on the 76. So Jamal Wilkes will miss the 2-point shot. The rebound, offensive center. Now, I see this here. If it says a missed free throw, that's where you would check for missed free throws. Okay, so it would be defense F1. But on this one here, Jamal Wilkes misses, offensive center. Kareem comes down with the rebound. So Kareem with the offensive rebound, so that gives them a chance to cut this lead to 4. So I have a B3. Well, Kareem's a B3, so he's going to get it. Kareem against Moses, reading off the defensive card. And I rolled a 42. And a 42 is a basket. And there will be an assist because 42 is between 32 and 48. We come over here. We look at the basket, and there's no 3-point range on his card. So you remember when we talked about if you get a turnover off the offense and it's not an offensive foul, you look at the turnover over here on the defense to see if they steal it. It's the exact same and opposite thing over here. So we roll the 42. That's a basket. you would go over here where it says basket and check to see if it was a three-pointer by looking at the 2d6 and or the percentage die. Over here, let's just say Michael Cooper was going up against Malone. We get the basket. We come down here to Michael Cooper. If my 2d6 was a 2, that's a three-point shot. So sometimes you got to go back and forth between the cards to check for 3 points and steals and stuff like that. So on this particular one, again, it's going to be 42. He does not have a 3-point shot, so it's a 2-point shot by Kareem, and there will be an assist, so you do have to flip a card. And assisted by the center, which is higher than 12. He's his own center, so we're going to say that there's no assist. So we're going to just say Kareem puts it up for 2, and it's now a 7-point game. And it's back to Philadelphia ball. And that's how I play this. And again, maybe you played a little bit different. If you do, let me know, and we can kind of come together and figure out how it's supposed to be done. So I don't have a B2. I know that. So it's going to be F2. So it's going to be over here to Julius Erving. So Julius Erving going up against Jamal Wilkes as we hit the 9-minute mark, and I'll pause the clock right there. And now we have a 7. So that's going to be a turnover. 0 to 10 is a turnover. And because I rolled the 5, see that 2 and the 3, that's my D6. That's offensive foul. So Julius Erving will commit a foul. It's going to be an offensive foul. Okay. Now, I didn't think offensive fouls counted towards that. Yeah, I don't think they did. I had to change the setting on that. There's a few settings you can change on that. All right, so it's going to be back to LA ball, and I've reached the 9-minute mark on my fast action card, so I have my clock stopped right at the time. And we will continue on. So LA now, in a do-or-die game, can now cut it to a 5-point lead. So here we go. So it's going to be F2, Jamal Wilkes. Now it says G1, so he's going to go in against somebody different this time. And if you notice this F4, that would be if you're using the 10-player board, it would go to the reserve at F4. And we're not playing that because I found that to be a little confusing, and I found this to be way more fun. Seriously, way more fun. All right, so Erving with a foul. Jamal Wilkes gets it. He's the F2 going against Cheeks, and we're going to read off the defense. And a 93, and Cheeks gets a foul. Now, that's Cheeks' third foul in the second half. So I'm using a homebrew that St. Patrick told me about, where in case you're getting a lot of fouls and it's kind of unrealistic, what to do is if you get a third foul in the first half, you re-roll. And I just re-roll one time for that player to see if they do indeed get the foul. And then I go with whatever that result is. Even if it's a foul again, then it stays foul. And he says to also do that in the second half with fouls 5 and fouls 6. So that's one thing I've been using, and it has cut down a little bit on the people fouling out in the whole bit. And I said whole bit again, didn't I? I did. So on this particular one here, this would be Cheeks' third foul, but it's in the second half, so I'm not going to roll it. So it's going to be a foul on Cheeks. So a 93 is a foul. So let me go to Cheeks, give him a foul, and it'll stay LA ball. So now we have G1. So it's going to be Magic against the defense. And E passes it. He's not an E, so Magic will hang on to it. And we're going to look over here on the Maurice Cheeks card. And a 23 is a miss. We come down over here to Magic. If I rolled a 2, it would be a 3-point miss. I didn't. I rolled a 5, so it's just going to stay a 2-point miss. So Magic, who's been awful in this game, misses again. Just to give you an idea on Magic, if I look him up, he is 3 for 12. He's hitting 25%. Magic Johnson has been a no-show in this game. So Magic Johnson misses. The rebound, defense F1. So Mark Ivaroni will come down with my defensive rebound, and he's got a fast break. So I flipped the fast break and missed by F2. So Dr. J puts it up. Dr. J will miss. And on a miss, I need to get a fresh roll here. If I had rolled a 12 and then beat 28%, it would have been a 3-point miss. So I am checking my 3-point misses here. I don't check them on blocks. I just kind of, again, if you want to get crazy, you could. But on that one there, so a 3-point, I check it, and it's a 6, so it's not going to be a 3-point shot. It's going to be a 2-point shot. So Erving misses a 2-point shot. We check for the rebound. And the high in the game. So Rambis is a 36 on defense. Malone is a 56. He gets everything. So the high in the game on the offensive rebound will be Moses Malone. And so Philadelphia will get it back, leading by 7. And now we go to F2, so it's Irving and the defender. And now it says right here, it says E passes to high for the remainder of the segment. So how I've been interpreting that is if F2 is an E, every time he gets the ball, he's going to have to dish it off to somebody. He's going to dish it off to the high guy. Well, he's not an E, so I take that as ignoring that because I go by the player that's flagged here. Okay, so we can kind of ignore this because he's not an E. If it was Ivoroni and he had the ball, he's an E. So now for the rest of the segment, which is the rest of this 6-minute segment, so down to the 6-minute mark, he would every time he gets it, he would have to pass it over, is what that would mean. That's how I interpret that, by the way. All right, so Irving with it. Green off the Irving card, a 28, and he is fouled by Jamal Wilkes, and that will be his 4th foul. So Jamal Wilkes will get his, undo that. Jamal Wilkes with his 4th foul. So again, I'm not re-rolling on foul 4, only on 5 and 6 in the second half. Philadelphia ball, high. Malone is the high, going up against Kareem, and we're going to read off the defense. Here we go, 68. Now this is going to be a basket by Moses. Now, there's no assist because assist is 46 to 61, and I rolled a 68. So it falls in the range of a basket, but not an assist. And I come up here, and I look at his basket, and there's no three-point to check at all. So I don't got to worry about checking for threes with Moses. So Moses puts it up, and he puts it in, and that's his 23rd point of the game. And it's back to a 9-point lead on this particular play. And that's kind of how the game plays. For the most part, it's pretty smooth. There are a couple little things, again, as far as, E's and D's and stuff like that can be kind of confusing, but I've since worked through it. Now, here we go. So now we have Kareem against Andrew Toney because it's a G2. And we got a special thing here. It says, change a foul while shooting to a turnover steal. So this is what makes this game kind of fun, is that every now and then you'll get something that throws a little wrinkle into the play. And I do kind of like that. So we're going to read off the defensive card, and if we get a foul while shooting, it's actually going to be a steal. So let's see if we can do this here. So a 29, and that's going to be a basket, actually. So Kareem, reading off the defensive card here at 29, is a basket, and it will be an assist because it falls within the assist rating. And again, with Kareem, there's no three-point shot to even worry about. So we've hit the 8-minute mark with the fast action cards and the assists. And you always have to flip a card here for an assist. So you're kind of burning time, because the way I look at that is that if you get an assist, that means you've been moving the ball around and time's ticking off the clock, if you will. So the assist will go to the center if he's greater than 20, but he's already put it in. So I play that as no assist. That's kind of how I do it. I guess you could flip an unused card if you want. So you could come over here, take a card off of the non-time deck and assisted by F1 if you wanted to. I guess there's no harm in that, if you will. So Kareem's going to put it up. He's going to get the 2, and we're going to give the assist to, what did we say, F1. So Rambis will get an assist. So I guess you could do it that way too. I suppose there's no harm in doing it that way, especially for myself where I'm really not doing a season replay. I'm just kind of playing playoffs and fun things like that. All right, so it's back to Philadelphia ball now, and we'll continue the clock here. So G1's going to get it. Maurice Cheeks is going up against Magic Johnson. However, a D or an E passes to B1 or B3. So he is a D. So he's going to have to pass this over to either B1 first, if not, then B3, and if not, then it's going to go to the highest. But we do have a B3. And now the defender switches to Kareem. That's how that would work. So we have Moses Malone backing in against Kareem, 2 big men, 6'10 and 7'2. So Moses gives away 4 inches, actually. So I don't think he's supposed to block it, actually. I think in the rules it says if you're 3 inches shorter, then you can't block. But I sometimes just still go with a block. It's just fun. But I think the rule said if you're giving away 3 or more inches, you're not supposed to block. You're just supposed to just be a miss. Again, play it your way. I tend to go with this. I tend to have the centers block it. I just think it sounds like it's pretty fun. Okay, so we're going to read off the Moses card, and we have a 69 giggity, and that's going to be a basket. No 3-point check, and that will be an assist too. It falls in the assist range. So Moses puts this up, and It's good. And the assist, we'll flip a card. It's going to be the high. So I think Maurice Cheeks is going to be our high. So Cheeks will get the assist on this play. And holy cow, it's back to a 9-point game. So let's continue on. LA ball. I don't have a B1, so it's going to go to C. So Jabbar and Malone reading the defender this time. A 20, and that's going to be a foul by Malone, and that'll be his 4th. So Malone will pick up the foul, and he now has 4. All right, so it stays LA ball, and it's going to be B2. I don't have a B2 or G2, so I do have a G2. Cooper and Tony, reading off the Tony card. 26, and that is a basket, and it will have an assist. Now he does have a 3-point chance. Did I roll a 2? No, I didn't. And then that's all I would need is just a 2 for Michael Cooper, but I didn't get the 2. So we'll come back over here. And a 26 is a basket and an assist. 2-point shot. Michael Cooper is up and good, and they've cut it now to 7. So they're hanging around. And on the assist, the second highest if it's greater than 16. So we have one. We don't have a second highest greater than 16. So we can either go no assists, or I can just give it a Magic. I was going to give it a Magic. He's having a bad day. I'm going to make him feel a little bit better. Okay, so now the ball will go back to Philadelphia. And it's going to be F2, so Julius Erving going up against Michael Cooper. And I like how sometimes you have different people going up against different people. I do really like that. So, and we've hit the 7-minute mark in this game. So this will be the last part of the segment, and then we'll go into the next segment, which is the last 6 minutes of the quarter. So Dr. J with it, F2. We're going to roll 60, and that's going to be a miss. And if I rolled a 12 and then I had 28% on my second percentile dice, it would have been a 3-point miss, but I did not. I rolled a 6 on the two-sided 2d6, so there's no 3-point check. So it's a 2-point miss for Julius Erving. So he misses the 2. Again, I've hit my 7-minute mark. So let's go here, and this is going to be like I said, at the end of this, when I get to 6 minutes, that segment's out. So anything that says segment will reset, but I don't have anything right now for a segment, I don't think. F1. Oh no, I got to check the rebound, right? The rebound high on offense. Okay, high on offense, and then 2 to 11. He's going to put it up and in. So Moses gets the rebound. He's high on offense. So Moses, not only does he get the rebound, but if I rolled a 2 to 11, and again, I look at my dice at the bottom, you see the 1 and the 5 and the blue and the yellow. Okay, those are my extra 2d6 roll. And so I rolled a 6. That falls in between 2 and 11. So Moses gets the rebound, puts it up, and puts it in, and it's back to a 9-point game. So Erving misses. Malone gets the rebound, lays it up, and in. That's not good for L.A. at all. G1, Magic Johnson, Maurice Cheeks. 61 on the defense. That will be a basket and an assist. And Magic does not have any 3-point chances over here, so Magic will finally put that up, and he will get point number 10. And you can't have Magic scoring just 10 in a finals game. And we'll check the assist, and the assist is G1. Well, it's not him because it's G1, so it's going to be the high assist. So I have 28-9 in it, so it's going to be Michael Cooper will get the assist. All right, so Philadelphia ball. And it's C against the defender. And again, I got to check this. I believe you checked this. This is another question that I had. C2 is your reserve center. Okay, now I don't know if this is going to correspond to C2 only or the current center. I play it as the current center. So again, you could read this 2 different ways. You could say, if it's C2, I read this. Or you could say, well, I'm not playing C2, so let me just ignore that. And now this will, D or E will, I need to check the current center. In either case, it ain't going to matter because I don't have a D or an E here. So it's going to be Malone with the ball against Jabbar, if you could follow that. So that would be my other question is when you have the reserve in here on the card, and let me see if I can show you that. So you see how I have the reserve on the card, C2. Does that D or E pass to high? Does that correspond to C2 only, or will that correspond to the current center in the game as well? I play it as the current center in the game. If I'm wrong, just let me know. But again, there's a couple little things like that in the game that sometimes trip me up. So but in either case, I don't have a D or an E. However, if Clemon Johnson was in the game, he is an E. So if he were in there instead of Malone, I would assume that he would have to pass it away. That's just kind of how I would interpret that. So Malone, Kareem, reading off the Malone card, a 91, and he is fouled by Kareem. So that's going to give Kareem 4. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will pick up the foul, and that's going to give him 4. And now we still get 6:45 to play, so I'm not too concerned about it. I could take him out for a short spell, though. I don't know who I put in. I don't have another center yet. So I'm going to hold off on that. Is there anybody else that's playing crazy minutes right now? Let me check L.A. Magic's got 37 minutes. And Michael Cooper with 39. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out Michael Cooper. And I will put in, I don't have a guard. So what I do is I'm just going to find somebody that's close. So Mike McGee is F2, but he's 6'5", and he's pretty close to Michael Cooper. So I'm going to put in McGee. And again, that could be very wrong as a guard, but I don't have any guards. They didn't dress any other guards in this game. They had 3 forwards as a backup. They didn't even have a backup center. So I'm going to just sub in McGee, who actually has been playing pretty well. And to be fair, I'm going to take one guy off of Philadelphia. So let me see who's played a ton of minutes for Philadelphia. Julius Erving's played 36. Andrew Toney, 35. So Tony's got 2 fouls. Irving's got 4 fouls. So I'm going to take Irving out and just spell him a little bit. And we'll put in Bobby Jones. And Bobby Jones will go here because he's got the high assist. Okay? So we'll come over here to my sub. Irving will come out and Bobby Jones will come in. And that's just kind of how I do it. Again, I don't overthink the subs. I have a good time with the subs, actually. I try to keep it real because I just look, okay, he's played a lot of minutes. Maybe he'll come out. Again, Wilkes and Kareem got the wild card, so their stamina doesn't matter. And the same with Clemon Johnson. So if he come in, he could play the rest of the game. There's no fatigue because of the wild cards I picked up in this game. But I like this right here. I like that. So I tend to bring in one and one when I do this stuff. I just think I think it's just more fair, when you start bringing in guys from each team, so you're not overloading all the good guys all the time. Could be very wrong, but it's fun for me. All right, so let's continue on. So we had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar commits a defensive foul, so it's going to be Philadelphia ball. So we have high 2. So Moses is 1, Tony is 2, going up against Magic Johnson, and it's going to be off the Tony card of an 84. So that's going to be a turnover. Offensive foul if it's a 9. Well, I rolled an 8. You see the 5 and the 3. That's an 8. So it's a turnover. So I come down here to Magic Johnson, and a turnover, 2 to 8 is a steal. So that'll be a steal. So if it's not a foul, come down here and see if he stole it. He did. So Tony with a turnover, Magic with a steal. That's a big steal, so they can get to within 5. And I kind of like to do that. When I'm doing this, I look at the scoreboard. It's like, now they can get back to within 5. Trying to stave off, losing the championship. So G1, and again, I'm going to ignore the G3 because that's the 10-player board. And Bobby Jones is on the defense, but we're going to read off the Magic card here. So we have a 45, and that says assist. So that means he made a nice pass, and let's see. So now what you do is you read on this side of the card. So this is assisted by, and this is score on the assist, so it's G2. If it's the same guy, go to the highest, is what I've been told. So G2, so Mike McGee, now he has a chance at a 3-point shot if I roll the 2. My 2d6 is 8, so on this basket it's going to be 2. So Mike McGee, who's just into the game, hits the 2, and Magic will get the assist, and it's a 5-point game. So yeah, so LA is back in this one, and the forum is rocking. So now, the segment is over. We're now in the second segment. We've hit the 6-minute mark. So this is going to be the final segment, if you will, of the quarter. And so, LA ball right after the McGee bucket. Malone is the center, and he's going up against Rambis. And we're going to read off the Malone card. So we have a 90, and he is fouled by Rambis. Now for Rambis, that'll be foul number 4. So Rambis will just take a foul, and we just kind of play on. So it stays Philadelphia ball, which I didn't know, by the way. This game has really helped me learn basketball. It's been kind of fun, learning, a new sport, if you will. So it's going to be the high. So it's Malone and Kareem again. So let's look at the Malone card here because it says green. And a 15 is a turnover. And on the turnover, a steal, 7 to 10. It's a 10, so it's going to be a steal. So Malone turns it over. Kareem with a steal, and now they can cut it to 3. This will be the closest they've been in forever. So off the steal, F2. So Jamal Wilkes going up against Malone. I'm going to ignore this F4 because that's for the bigger board, as we talked about. So Jamal Wilkes has a chance to cut the lead to 3. He can't make a 3-point shot because his basket does not have that. He can miss a 3, but he can't hit a 3, which is kind of weird, but such is the game. All righty, so off the defensive card, off the Malone card of 64, and he missed it. And now he can miss the 3. So I look at the 3-point shot. It says 12. I rolled 4, so it's a 2. So Jamal Wilkes puts it up, and it's no good. On the rebound, goaltending on the away team. So we're going to count it. So we're going to undo that shot, and we're going to give Jamal Wilkes the bucket. And it's a 3-point game here with 5:55 to play. Woo-hoo, we got a good finish here in Game 4. Okay, so it'll be Philadelphia ball. F1 is Bobby Jones going up against the defense. E passes to high for the rest of the segment. Well, he's not an E, he's a D, so I don't have to worry about that. So Bobby Jones with it, and we're going to read off the Bobby Jones card. A 92, and he is fouled while shooting by Rambis, and that gives him 5. So what I'm going to do is invoke that rule where on foul 5 and foul 6, I will re-roll. So I just wrote down that I'm checking Rambis for you get one time. I do that one time. So this would be his 5th. And so I'm just going to re-roll the whole thing and not have that a foul. That's just, I think, again, ST said to do that and said try it out. So that's what I'm trying out. So we re-roll the play again off the offense of 91. And that's a foul while shooting, and that we will keep, okay? You get the one reprieve, you get the one mulligan, and that's it. Fouled while shooting. So let's take a look over here. I have a 93, and he's going to miss the shot. So Bobby Jones misses the shot. He was fouled. Rambis picks up the foul, and Bobby Jones will go to the line. So now Rambis has got 5. So what I might want to do is I might want to bring in Landsberger and put him here. Okay. So we're going to sub in Mark Landsberger for Kurt Rambis. Okay. And Landsberger, he's only got 1 foul. And I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the subbing with the foul thing. It's more fun than I thought it would be. I didn't think it would be fun at all. It's very fun. It's very fun. So Jones goes to the line for 2. So the first one of 25 is good, because, again, it's good here. And then the next one of 11, and that is also good. So Bobby Jones goes to the line and makes 2, and it's back to a 5-point game. Okay, so LA ball, B1. I don't have a B1, but I do have a G1, and that'll be Magic going up against Maurice Cheeks. So Magic, who only has 10 points today, who's really kind of been a side note in this whole game, he has a chance to make something happen here. Off the Magic card of 64, and he puts it up. He misses. If I had a 2, it's a 3-point miss, but I don't have a 2, so it's going to be a 2-point miss. So Magic misses. That's a Magic miss, if you will. And it's going to be a rebound offensive center. So Kareem comes down with the offensive board, and he will keep it going. Yep, so Jones, I'm just kind of keeping track of my my thing here. Okay, so it's back here. So let's go on LA ball. The high is Kareem going up against Cheeks. And we're going to read off the offensive card because it's green. 0-1 is an assist. So he's going to send this over to B2. I don't have a B2 or F2. So it's going to go to Wilkes. Now, if it was B2 or the center, then I would have to go to the high that wasn't Kareem. So it would have gone to Wilkes anyway. So always go to, and when in doubt, go to the high player. It just seems to make the most sense. So Jabbar to Wilkes. Now, does he have a chance for a three? No, he doesn't. His basket does not have a three-point chance. So Wilkes will put it up. He'll put in the two. Kareem will get the assist. And it's back to a three-point game. How about that? All right, Philadelphia ball. And I just kind of clear out some of the cards here because that gets kind of high. F1, Ivoroni going up against Jabbar. And again, down here, it says F3. We don't worry about that because that's on the 10-player board. So Ivoroni against Kareem. Off the Kareem card. Let's roll our dice. A 64. And that basket is good. Now, it's not assisted because 46 to 61 is assists. So I rolled a 64, so it's out of that range. So we get a basket, unassisted. And over here on my basket, there is no three-point chance. So Ivoroni puts it up. Ivoroni hits, and that's a big bucket there for Philadelphia to put them back up by 5. Okay. Yeah, Ivoroni puts that up. So I think I had the pegs wrong, but you get what I'm going here. High 2. So high 2, I think it's going to be Wilkes. We have 27 and 24.6. So Wilkes gets it going up against Bobby Jones. Okay. So Wilkes with the ball for L.A., down by 7 again. And I roll a 35 on the defense. And going against Bobby Jones, a 35 is a miss. And a miss, if I rolled a 12, and then I could check the percentage die, would be 3. Again, it's not because I rolled a 7, so it's not a three-point miss. So Jamal Wilkes will miss from 2. A rebound. Defense F1, Bobby Jones, and it's a fast break. So Bobby Jones comes down with it. And it's going to be a fast break for Philadelphia. And a basket by G1. Wow. So now, Jones to Cheeks. And I do have a chance for 3 points here. So let me do a fresh roll. And nope, I'd have to get a 12 on a 2d6 and then still have a percentage roll here. So I did not get it. So it's just Cheeks putting up the 2. And it's good. And the assist going to Ivoroni. That's just kind of how I do assists on a fast break. I look at the last card played and kind of does double duty. Oh, boy. So now it's back to a 7-point game. G2. So McGee with it against Tony. E passes the ball away. He's not an E, so McGee's going to hang on to it. McGee and Tony off the McGee card. 11. That's missed. If I rolled a 3, it's a 3-point miss. It is not. It's a 2-point miss. So Mike McGee will miss the 2-pointer. And the rebound is G2, so Tony gets the rebound. So Andrew Toney comes down with the defensive rebound. Here we go. 5 minutes to go as I reach the 5-minute card. So we're coming around 5 minutes now. C. Malone against Magic Johnson. And it says change foul while shooting to a turnover. So that's advantage defense. So let's go to Malone, and we're going to read off the Magic Johnson card. I have a 58, and that's going to be a block. So Moses puts it up. No good. Magic with a block. And again, you can check the heights again. It says if there's 3 inches or more difference, you're not supposed to block. Again, that's up to you. It's still a miss. On the rebound, offense F2. So Mark Ivoroni will come down with this offensive rebound, and they'll get a fresh set of downs, as you say in football, right? So we're going to flip again for Philadelphia. We'll let the clock run a little bit now. High 2. So the high 2 is going to be Andrew Toney, and he's going against Mike McGee. Now we're going to read off the offensive card. And a 49 is a miss. 3-point range is 11 to 12. I rolled a 7. So that's going to be a 2-point miss for Andrew Toney. So he's going to miss the 2. We'll check the rebound. Offense G1. So Cheeks comes down with a rebound. And on a 2-7, he lays it up and in. So, again, my dice roll, the blue 1 and the yellow 3 is a 4. That's my backup 2d6 roll. And he will put that in for 2. So Maurice Cheeks comes down with it with a rebound and throws that right back in. It's back to a 9-point game. All right, so now what we're going to do with 4:37, we're going to honk the horn, and we're going to put Dr. J back in. He's in some foul trouble, but we're going to put him back in. So we're going to sub in Irving, and Bobby Jones will come out. And over here, I think we're going to put Rambis back in, and we're going to take Landsberger out. And Michael Cooper will come back in as well. So McGee and Landsberger come out. And I enjoy this. I really do. And Rambis and Cooper come back in. And I usually don't like coaching like this, but this is kind of fun. This is kind of a numbers game. It's a gambling game. It's, am I going to have this guy foul out? Is he going to be in trouble? Because you want your best guys in, but you don't want them out of the game completely. So there's a little juggling act there. It's kind of like when you're pinch hitting and stealing and bringing in relievers in baseball. There's a little bit of fun behind that, And Vinny says, anybody thinking about buying this game can just order the facts. All you need is the facts and whatever season you want. The board isn't needed. Yeah, I'm not using the board here. I'm just using a mat. But, I like to get everything. I like to get the printed set. That way I have it. And you have the box, too, which is really nice. Okay, so Maurice Cheeks makes the 2-point shot. L.A. ball after the subs. And it's 105-96. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of the optional rules here right now. And we're going to take a timeout. So I'm going to go L.A. We're going to give them a 30-second timeout. Okay, so we got a timeout L.A. What you do then is if you're losing, you take 2 cards and you put it into the timing deck. So it kind of buys you a little bit of time, okay? And you get your choice of player with the ball, and you roll off the offense, and you don't flip for time. So the timeouts, it really does turn the game into a longer game because you're really adding time and you're not passing time. All right, so we're going to give it to Jabbar. He's going to go against Moses Malone. That's what we're going to do. So we're just going to flip off the offense off the timeout. And I there's a couple of those rules I use, and they are kind of fun. There's a lot more you can use that I don't get into a lot of them, but that's one I enjoy. All right, so off the timeout, we're going to roll off the offense for Kareem. A 67 is no good. So Kareem puts it up, can't get it to go. All right, we'll get our time going again. On the rebound, high on defense, greater than 34. Well, we got Moses Malone, who's a 44, right? So Moses Malone will get the defensive rebound, and it's Philadelphia ball. So here we go now. High 2. So it's going to be Tony is high 2 going up against the defender. Again, reserve high 2 would be if you're using the 10-player board. Okay. So it's high 2 is Tony against the defender. So let's roll the dice here on the defender. 75, and that's a turnover, and a steal 6-12, but it's a 4. Again, that 1-3, that's my app and 2d6 roll, if you will. So off the defensive card of 75, Michael Cooper is going to force a turnover. So Tony with a turnover. So you flip the next card, and if you want to see what it was traveling, which doesn't exist anymore, but it did in the 80s, so I'm happy with that. And then you use the same card to start the play. Again, I'm ignoring G3. Because of that, I'm not using the backup. But again, now, Vin, here's the other thing I'm thinking about here is, so I'm ignoring the G3, but does this D or E passes to high, does that correspond to this only? Or if I ignore this, will I now take this and put it on this? What I've been doing is I'm going to give it to G1, and if he's D or E, I'm going to pass to high as well. So either one of these guys is going to pass to high. But it's possible that this here is all together and you ignore the whole thing when there's no G3. However, I'm not going to do that. So again, that would be another question I had on possession. So G1, so let me see. Andrew Toney is a turnover. LA ball, so it's going to go to Magic Johnson, but he's not D or E, so that wouldn't matter anyway. So it's Magic Johnson against Cheeks. Magic Johnson with all of 10 points in this game. He's hitting about 25%. He's been really disappointing in this game. He did not come to play, kind of like the Edmonton Oilers. All right, we're going to read off the defense of 96, and that's a foul by Cheeks, and that will be his 4th. So we do not re-roll on the 4th, and so it's not in the penalty at all, so we're going to continue on. L.A. ball, B3. I do have a B3, and he's going against Malone. Off the offensive card, 81 is up, and it's no good, and again, there's no three-point check on Jabbar, so he's just going to put it up, and he will miss. The rebound is going to go to defensive center in a fast break. Moses Malone will pick up the rebound as they knock everything around. So Malone with the defensive rebound. A fast break is held up A to E, and they are a B, so they'll be held up. So the fast break will be held up. And I've hit the 4-minute mark in this game. As you can see my clock, I just got to keep it close, And, okay. So that's the way you guys would play it. Yeah, I'm not fretting over that stuff anymore. I'm kind of just going with it. I used to get all worked up and try to get it all exactly right, but I'm having so much fun that I don't want to get hung up on that stuff anymore. And again, just to remind everybody that Wilkes, Kareem, and over here in the bench, Clement Johnson, all have rolled rare plays where their stamina does not come to effect. Okay, so I can play them the rest of the game and forever in this game here, and their stamina is not affected, so I don't have to worry about their minutes. The other guys I still kind of do. So if I come over here and check my minutes, is anybody really out of line here with minutes? Irving with 37, Andrew Toney with 38. So he'll finish with 42, which is I think what he had in real life. And over here for LA, Michael Cooper with 39 minutes. He's probably played too much, so I might want to take him out. Magic has played 40. And Jamal Wilkes, again, he's played 43, but it doesn't matter. And Rambis is 36. He's about right. Like I say, I'm in the ballpark. Michael Cooper, I might be able to take out at the next whistle. Because he might play a little bit too many more minutes. So Moses gets the rebound after Kareem misses the shot. Okay. And, the fast break was held up. So it's just going to be Philadelphia ball here, right, as we continue on. And it's going to be G1, so there's no anything here. So Cheeks against Johnson off the Cheeks card. And Sweet Cheeks, a 49 is a basket. And a 3-point shot if I rolled a 12 and then a 12%, but I didn't roll a 12, so I can just stop right there. And a 49 will be also an assist, and that's good for Philadelphia because that'll chomp some time off the clock. So Cheeks puts up the 2, and it's back to a 9-point lead with 3:20 to play. And the assist will go to the center if he's higher than 17. He's not. And again, Vin and Tony, here's another thing. So if I get an assist and I check the assist and it doesn't check out, you can either play no assist or you can flip one more card of the unused pile to see what you get. And that's what I've been doing. So I'm going to give it a Tony on the G2. So Cheeks will put it up and in. I'm going to give Tony the assist. I do like to try to flip one more card to award an assist, Oh, okay. So Tony says, when you're in the stats page in iScore, you can tap on one of the headings and sort by that heading. Oh, okay. Well, let's try it. So we're going to go Philadelphia. And sort by the minute. Oh, look at that. Oh, Tony, I love you, man. I love you, man. Love you, man. That's exactly what I needed. Perfect. So now you guys can see the minutes, right? That's great. So, again, Jamal Wilkes and Kareem, there's no stamina on them in this game. And just one other thing about this game that I absolutely love. I wonder if you could sort this by points. No. That'd be nice if you could sort by points. And I said I inspired Tony. He's printing out some teams PDF. He's going to play some games while on vacation next week. This game is so fun. This is just such a fun basketball game. And it's full play, and it takes a long time to play, but I don't care because I'm having fun when I play this. I played this last night, and I think I played the first half while watching the hockey game because I kept stopping to watch the game. Oh, okay, no assist on the play only because not every basket has an assist. Well, the only reason I went with that is because the assist was rung up here. So I flipped the one more card, just one, to see if I do get an assist, just because it said assist. So I guess again, there's no wrong way. It's just stats. It doesn't affect the score. But I guess that's another question to ask if the the assist thing doesn't work out, you just ignore it. All right, so Andrew Toney gets an assist, so it's going to be over here to LA ball. And now we got to start thinking about pressing. So I think we're going to press. All right, so we have B1 or G1. So it's going to be G1, Magic Johnson, and he's going to go up against Maurice Cheeks. And so it's going to be off the defender here. And so we're going to roll the dice here. Ooh, a 99, and he is fouled. So Cheeks gets the foul. As you can see, the wife coming by. Hey, hello, wife. Hello, wife. She's getting ready for the concert tomorrow. And so I rolled a 99, so that's a foul on Cheeks, but that would be his fifth. And again, to be fair, alrighty, what I've been doing is, so I need to write in Cheeks, and we're going to re-roll this on his fifth foul, because that's what I've been doing. On fouls 3 in the first half, and on fouls 5 and 6, you get one reprieve roll. Just one, not one every time, but one reprieve. So we're going to roll the reprieve roll here, so we're not going to count that foul, and we can just roll again. And a 5, whatever it is, and it's going to be a miss. So that actually worked out. And it's worked out for LA earlier, too. So Magic Johnson, and a miss if I rolled a 2. I didn't roll a 2. That would have been a 3-point miss. So Magic's going to miss again. We check the rebound, and it's going to be high at F1 and F2, and the home gets a 2-point bump because I rolled a 2 on that. So 22 and 22 versus 35 and 22. If I take 35 and add 2, that's 37. So Kurt Rambis will get the offensive rebound, and they'll stay with the ball. And now it's going to be F2, so it's going to be Wilkes against the defender. E passes. He's not an E, so he won't pass, so he's going to hang on to it. So Wilkes will roll off the defense card, and that defensive roll will be 13. And that's a foul on Irving, and that will be 5 for Irving. So I will give him the reprieve roll. So Irving will get the reprieve roll at 5. And so right now, it's been 4 reprieve rolls for Philadelphia and 4 for LA. So it's actually been pretty fair. It's been pretty fair. Okay? And so we're going to re-roll again off the Irving card. And it's an 18. And an 18. And that's a foul, so we're going to stay with it. So Irving's going to pick up the foul, and that will be his 5th. Okay? And that'll be only the 4th of the period, so there won't be a shooting foul. So LA will have the ball, but time is ticking away. And now Vin says if there's an assist result and the card reads the same player position, it goes to the high player, assist guy, or high 2. Yeah, my issue is when it says, F2 greater than 7. If F2 is not greater than 7, so does that mean I don't sign an assist? Or do I just flip another card and try it that way, If you're playing safe, don't all rolls come off the other player card? Pretty much, but I'm not playing it safe because what I've been doing is substituting the guy in. That's the great thing about playing 5-on-5. When you play 10-on-10, you do have to play safe, or unless you move guys around. How I'm playing, you don't have to worry about that because basically you're just giving up the points, So Vin's going to say no assist. Okay, then I'll do it that way. I'll do no assist. All right, so it's going to be LA ball, and it's going to be the high, Jabbar against Malone again. Again, that's been a fun battle. This is a fun series, even though it's been one-sided. Here we go, off the defense card of 34, and that's going to be a basket. And again, there's no three-point shot. So a 34 is a basket, and sadly for LA, there's going to be an assist on this one, or at least an assist check. So Kareem puts that up, and it's good. That cuts it back to a 9-point game. We flip for the assist, and this is pretty cut and dry. Rambis will get the assist. There's no check needed. All right, so we're going to try the press. All right, we're going to try the press as we get 3 minutes to go, and it's a 9-point game. So how I do the press is kind of how I think you're supposed to do it, right? So we're at 3 minutes now. So on the press, there's the press. Okay, so we're going to flip the next action card to see if it is a press. So they're a press Y. All right, so there's no press. Okay, so there's no press. So they're going to play as normal. So what I do is, because they're trying to kill the clock, I flip a second card. That's just kind of how I do it, because they're trying to play the stall kind of thing. So they're really trying to kill the clock. So they don't have the press going, so I flip a second card. That's just me. That's my gut feeling, is that they're taking their time. They're not trying to shoot within 7 seconds. They're trying to chomp as much off that clock as possible. So when I play the press, if they don't get the press, then I flip the next card. Now, I'm going to ignore this because I've already decided there's no press. And so I'm going to go here. So it's going to be G2 and F1. That's kind of a Dave rule. So, again, if that breaks the game, somebody let me know. Phil, good to see you, Phil. Good to see you, buddy. We haven't talked since the conference there, but it's good to see you. And Tony says, I thought if a player was in foul trouble, you can do the additional roll, but he has, yes, you can. There is a way of playing it safe. I don't know where the heck it would be. It is in here, though. There is a way of playing it safe. I think it says, actually, you have to play it safe. Hang on a sec here. Fouls. How to play. Rebounds, fast breaks, baskets, foul while shooting, foul. Turnover, ball handler, heave, pass to, action cards assisted by. There is something about playing it safe. Injuries, basket. How come I can't find it here? Okay, playing it safe. There's a whole thing on playing it safe where you read off the offensive card and change all foul while shooting and blocks to basket. Yeah, so there is a whole way of doing that. I just don't do it. I just take the guy out, and I just put him in, and late in the game I leave him as normal. That's just what I do. All right, so Rambis gets an assist. Philadelphia ball, G2, F1. We're going to read off the defense. So a 94 is fouled while shooting. So for Rambis, that would be his final. So for Rambis, I'm going to roll again and again. So for Rambis, he's had 3 checks, so he should have fouled out already. But using this way here, there's no more checks for Rambis. So if he gets a foul, he's done. So I'm going to re-roll, and if he fouls again, then he is done. So a 68 is going to be a miss. So that actually worked out. So Tony misses. Off the miss, ooh, that was almost a 3-point miss. I rolled a 10, and 11 to 12 would have been from 3. I think he's got a couple of 3-point shots in this game. So Tony's going to miss the 2. So Tony puts it up, and he's going to miss the 2. We'll get the clock moving here. Again, that's just kind of a guide. It's not the actual time. And the rebound, defensive center, Abdul-Jabbar, will get the defensive rebound, and we're going to try a fast break. And it's a turnover, G2. Turnover, G2. So Michael Cooper on the turnover, and it's going to be Philadelphia ball. And then I guess you could check the turnovers if you want. I'm not too concerned about it. I don't think it'd be a 3-second violation, but it is what it is. So the press here, okay, so it's only a press if they're W and they're Y. So they're going to miss the press again. Again, I'm going to burn a second card because they don't get the press. And G1's going to get it. So it's going to be Cheeks and Johnson. And we're going to read off the offensive card of 26, and that's going to be a miss from 2-point range. So Cheeks with the miss. And rebound high at G1. So we have 8 and 29. Magic will get the rebound. So Magic Johnson with the defensive rebound. So now I need to really start thinking about taking a lot of shots here because I'm down by 9. So what I do is this is the other thing I use. You can't find the rules when you do. No, that's me. That additional roll, that is a house rule that I think ST said he talked to Joe about, and he said, yeah, if you want to, do that extra roll, it's optional. So it's not in the rules. It's kind of an optional thing. And I've been using it, and I like it. So how that works is that if you get your third foul in the first half, you get a re-roll on that. And then in the second, and just one. I play just one. So again, if you get a foul again, then you get it. And then in the second half on fouls 5 and 6, you get one reprieve roll. So that's what that is right there. This is 82-83, Phil. Yeah, and this is game 4, and it looks like it's going to be a sweep for Philadelphia. The other thing I do is the pressure shooting, the hurry-up offense. I like to use this. So what you do is you draw a card from the other deck, not the timing deck, and just an extra one, and then you roll here. So I'm going to try that. So it's going to be Magic Johnson with a rebound, and so now I'm going to use the hurry-up shooting method. So we're going to flip a card from the non-deck, right? Just an extra card, not from the timing deck, okay? So draw from the unused action card. So I got G1, so Magic. He's not an E, so he's going to hang on. So Magic and Maurice from the Magic card. The only difference is if I get an assist, it's not an automatic bucket. I will use the second percentage die to roll down here to see if he puts it in. So here we go. So Magic off the Magic card now. And this is where the game really gets kind of neat late in the game, where you're grabbing unused action cards. You're not flipping over time. And it really does feel like, it's kind of crunch time. It's almost like empty net time in a hockey game. I've really been enjoying that on close games. All right, so Magic Johnson rolls a 53, and that will be a basket and no assist. So Magic puts that up, and that kind of worked out in his favor, and it's good, and it's back to a 7-point game. The press is back on. There is no press, and so we've hit the 2-minute mark now. So, again, there's no press, so I'm going to burn a card. This is how Dave does it. If you miss the press, then you're passing it around and you're killing time in my mind. So it's going to be Moses. He's not an E. And Abdul-Jabbar. We're going to read off the Moses card, okay? And so we're going to roll here for Moses. And an 80 is a basket, an unassisted basket. So Moses puts it up and hits, and that might do it here. It's now a 9-point game again. All right, so we're going to take a non-action card, and we're going to play hurry-up offense. So Kareem's going to get it, going in against Andrew Toney off the Andrew Toney card. It's a 66, and he's going to miss the shot. And, again, he can't miss from 3, so he's just going to miss the 2. Let's check the rebound, and it's going to be Cheeks coming down with the rebound, and everything going right for Philadelphia. Okay, the press is back on. There's no press, so I'm going to spin an extra card. Just, again, that's kind of my house rule. And I've already explained that. So it's going to go to Moses going up against Rambis. And I rolled a 51, and a 51 is no good. So Moses can't hit a 3, so it's just going to be a miss. On the rebound, high in the game, greater than 39. So we have 36, we have 56. So, yeah, Malone comes down with that rebound, and it's going to remain Philadelphia ball. The press is back on. We will go to the press. So what that means on the press is we're going to flip an unused card, check the press area, and it's going to be a fast break. Use AA. So you don't get the press going. And here comes Philadelphia on a fast break. A fast break card is held up. Okay. So now we're just going to flip a single card here, and we're at the 1-minute mark now, so time is really ticking away. High 2, Andrew Toney against Magic Johnson. Off the Magic Johnson defensive card of 79. It's good. That's a basket. And we check over here, and, I rolled a 12. I thought if a 12 would have been a missed 3-point. I need a 2. I need a 2 for a 3-pointer. So he puts it up, but it's not a 3. It's just a 2. So Toney will put up the 2 and hit it. So Andrew Toney makes it an 11-point game now, and this pretty much will do it. So L.A. ball. Oh, wait. We're doing the hurry-up, right? We're doing the hurry-up. So we're going to flip an unused card. So Michael Cooper and Maurice Cheeks. And let's roll here. A 64 is a miss, a 2-point miss by Michael Cooper. And the rebound will go to the defensive center Malone, and it's a fast break. So Moses with the defensive rebound. A fast break is held up. And so we will just flip one card there. There's no press, so we're going to flip a second one and go with this. F1, so Ivaroni and Rambis. D or E will pass to B1 or B3, so he's an E, so he's going to pass to Moses, who goes against Kareem right now. under a minute to play. They're already celebrating in Philadelphia. A 57 is up, and Moses misses that one there, so he will miss. And the rebound, defense G2, Michael Cooper will get the rebound. Okay, and again, we're playing hurry up, so we're just going to flip a card off the unused deck. And Kareem and Moses going on the Moses. And a 61 is a basket, so Kareem will hit that one. So that worked out for them. We're going to press. No, there's no press, so we're going to burn a second card. Again, how I do it. I've said it 1,000 times. And so Tony against Kareem. A 17 is good. That's a basket and no assist. So Andrew Toney puts in 2. And this is our last flip of the game. And Kareem going up against Maurice Cheeks off the defensive card of 32. That shot is missed at the buzzer. And that's all my cards. And we're seeing all zeros on the scoreboard. And that'll do it. So that is our final. And Philadelphia will sweep the series by 4 games to absolutely nothing. So, again, that's a slow play version of this. Now, let me go through some of the things here, and let's talk about some of the things. So we're going to clear this away. So we're going to get the L.A. Lakers out of the way, and we'll put them back. I'm going to play a game pretty soon with just the team cards. I'll show you how that goes. It's kind of funky. I tried that. It's a lot faster. It's just very generic, but it does work. It does work. All right, so let me get this out of the way. I want to go over some of the fast break cards and show you some of them as well. All right, so we got Philadelphia here. So congratulations to Philadelphia for winning the series in 4 games. It was fun. That was a fun little project. It really was. So I just want to show you some of the fast action cards here, the fast break cards. So let me kind of zoom in here. All right, and show you what we got here. Let me go back to the chat real quick. A player that incurs 3 fouls must play safe. Yeah, if you leave him in the game. I took him out, though, so I don't have to worry about that. Joe said you can re-roll to see if no foul was called. Yep. Yeah, and the ref eating the whistle and not calling ticky-tack stuff. Yeah, that was something ST's suggested to me. He says, the people have been using this here, and it makes for a little better game. That's what you want. You want a better game. So let's take a look at some of these. So some of these can get kind of funky here. All right, so let's get some more light on this subject. I don't know if that'll be... Oh, that'll work right there. Let's kind of brighten that up a little bit. There we go. So on the fast break cards, which are the blue ones here, you do get a die roll, a D6, and a 2D6. So you don't even need dice for this game. You can just flip cards like this. Again, here's your fast break. It tells you what happened. F1 misses the 2-point shot. And this is your question mark. And how I play it is that if, whatever it is, so if you get a reading here, let me find a question mark. Wow, all these cards are not a question mark to be found. Yeah, I didn't get a question mark in the last bit. Look at that. I've ripped through like 30 cards. Haven't found a question mark. I'm trying to show you what that is here. Wow. What are the chances I don't get a question mark when I want to show you guys a question mark? There it is. Okay. So on the action cards here, if you will. So if you get the question mark, what you need to do, according to the rules, is resolve whatever's going on, and then at the first stoppage, check. Now, the question mark is going against the defender in this point. So on this one here, and then sometimes they don't always quite match up, so you got to kind of get creative, with this stuff here. So if play result is a foul on the away team coach receives a technical foul. So on that play, if there was a foul, that's what would happen. If not, the home team will score a 2-point basket on their next 3 possessions. So what I do is I kind of keep this off to the side to remind me that every time the home team gets it, I flip my card, F2, and F2 is going to get a 2-point basket. Okay, and then on the next possession, G1 has it, G1's going to get a 2-point basket. So these wildcard things are kind of fun. You just got to get kind of creative in the thinking, but again, this will go with the player. So if I flip this over here, again, you kind of ignore this at this point here because it says the away team misses 2-point shots on the next 3 possessions, and the home team scores 2-point baskets on the next 3. So that's going to be a huge swing right there. Over here, if the player has exclamation point, he gets a technical foul. Player carries trash talk too far, receives a technical. So this defender, whoever this defender was in the play, would get a technical foul. So again, always keep in mind who's going to get the plus, whether it's the offense or the defense. Again, away player receives a technical foul. And the home team may play the home player may play the rest of the game without resting. So there's all kinds of things in there that's kind of neat. If a player on the defender has a brawl breaks out, both players ejected. That's kind of neat. Reroll all defensive fouls for the remainder of the segment and take the second result, including fouls. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We're actually re-rolling on some of the fouls, if you will. So that's a minor injury on this defender. Wait a second. Away player misses. So it's a minor injury on the away player. So whoever was going at it, the away player is the one that gets hurt, and the home player reduces his minutes played by 6. This player suffers an injury. Check the injury in the next card. And then you have injury here, so it's the remainder of the game is what it would be. Player may disregard stamina for the rest of the game. I had that a couple of times in this game, so it's been kind of fun. All D and E ball handlers pass to B for the remainder of the segment. And again, the segment is that 6-minute segment, if you will. So depending if you're in the first half of the quarter or the second half of the quarter. So if you're in the first half of the quarter, then it expires midway, if you will. Sometimes it's only a couple of minutes if you're that close. So anyway, that's kind of some of the things there that you can do in this game. And again, I'm having a heck of a time in this game. That was a fun project. I got more seasons on the way. I can't wait to play it some more. Let me go over to Studio B here. Where is Studio B? Where is Studio B? I can't find Studio B. There's Studio B. There's Studio B. And so that is a look at Bankshot Basketball. That is a slow version of the game, if you will. Again, I can play it a lot faster than that, but just give you an idea how I play it. Again, it's not necessarily 100% correct, but it feels like basketball. Whatever I'm doing, it feels like basketball, and I had a good time with that. So the final score, 113-1, so they win by 11. So they won pretty convincingly in those 4 games. If I look at my stats here, Moses with 29, Tony with 29, Irving with 24. They provided most of the stuff, the points, and Magic Johnson, 12 points. He hit 31%. What can you do? What can you do when you're just not playing well? You're not playing well, right? What can you do? Anyway, back to the chat here real quick. Where do I get the scoreboard? How about, okay, that's I'm a little bit behind in my chat here, but that's iScore. It's called iScore Basketball, and it's super easy, super fun. I think it's free. It's on the iPad, and I'm just mirroring that to my computer, and it works really nice as a scoreboard, and as a shows you who's in the game and their situations with points and stuff like that. So that is that. It is iPad only. Yeah, Phil's going to get it when he gets home. Yeah, it's. I wish they had this for all the sports. They have it for baseball, but I like Digital Diamond. I do like the Digital Diamond. But this is so much fun. That's all I've been playing is Bankshot Basketball. And you're talking, talk about your time spent and your money spent on it. I've spent a good chunk of change on this game in between seasons and the whole bit. But holy cow, I mean, how many hours I've already put into this game? I've only had it a couple of weeks, or maybe less than a couple of weeks. It's been nuts. How many hours I put into this game. So as far as I'm concerned, it's worked out quite well. Back in the chat room. Yeah, you do have to manually enter the rosters for whatever team you're using. But Phil, check it. I did a video on it a couple of days ago. Go check out the video. You can actually speak into it and get the rosters in there. So just search my channel a few days ago. I did a first look at iScore Basketball, and I install rosters, and they go in a minute or 2 minutes, and then they're in there forever. I have a bunch of teams in there already, and I never have to input them again. And I put in everybody. So what I do, because Bankshot comes with everybody, I went right to Basketball Reference, and I just put everybody in with their number. whether they played or not, I put them all in, and that way there I have them. I don't have to worry about adding anybody. So I just put them all in, and then you don't have to use them if you don't want to, obviously. But yeah, you do got to put them in manually, but it goes real fast, And Vinny will walk you through it too. And Barbara's late to the party. That's okay. That's okay. You made it. That's all that matters. But anyway, so that is a slow look at Bankshot Basketball. And I hope to be playing more here. I got the itch for that ABA, but I have more seasons coming in, so we'll see what we're going to do. I grabbed them. I didn't want to get the FOMO, which is what the cool kids say now. I didn't want FOMO because I know that Joe's been in and out with the printing with some things. So I grabbed a bunch while they were available. I didn't want to miss that. So I grabbed a bunch of seasons, so I should be good to go because I have just about every season I want and everything that I could possibly do with basketball with Bankshot Basketball. So I'm pretty happy that I have some things coming. So Glenn comes by and he says they have an iScore football, and but he won't use the basketball or the football because he won't have any Apple products in his house. Well, I guess that's up to you. I enjoy my Apple products and I enjoy my other products too. I have both products and they're fine. But I like how I can use that scoreboard here and put it up on the screen and keep all my stats. And yeah, it's one of the best helpers out there. It really is. And it's faster than pen and paper, which is really cool too. I haven't tried the football yet. I heard that's a little clunky. But you'd have to put in so many players for football because I don't know if you do all the tackles and stuff or if you just put in the offense. I don't know how all that works. I have the football and I kind of looked at it, but I haven't done much with it. So, but who knows? That might work just as well too if you want to put in all the players too. So I might have to check that out. And it's got the baseball. One of them you do have to pay for. I think the football is the paid one, right? I think football is the paid one. But anyway, so that is that. And boy, I didn't work last night. I'm losing track of my days. I watched the whole hockey game last night. That was fun. I haven't watched the whole hockey game in a while. Although I was watching it here while I played basketball, so I wasn't glued to it, so to speak. But that is that. Thanks for coming by, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, any questions, let me know. If there's something that you think I'm doing wrong, you got a better way to do it, let me know too. Be nice about it, but just let me know. And the football's $10. Oh, okay. Okay. That's not terrible. I'd pay $10 for this basketball easily. It's just so good. So anyway, I'm going to clean up around here. I'm going to see what I'm going to do tonight. I might come on tonight doing some things. I'm going to spend some time with the wife because she's heading out tomorrow, so I won't see her for a day while she goes down to the concert down in New York. And so that'll give me the day to myself. So maybe I can, too bad I didn't have any corners to cut. I can spend all day cutting corners. So, all right, I'm Dave from Studio B. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this. As this game kind of snuck up on me, Bankshot Basketball. Really enjoying it. I got a lot of products in mind for this. And it's fun just to sit and play. It takes me a long time to play, but I enjoy every minute of it. I really do. I really, really do. Well, talk to you later.